So with this, we're using one leg to bias the hamstrings in the back. You need to use a Swiss ball. The first step is digging that heel into the Swiss ball to lift your hips up. Again, I'm digging my heel in to lift up. This is my starting position. Once you're in, I'm gonna switch legs, I'm getting a little tired. Once you're in this position, you're gonna dig your heel into the ball again and roll the ball towards your hips, and then slowly roll the ball back out and then lower. Again, you're gonna go up, in, out, lower. I recommend keeping the hands here to give your core and to give yourself a little bit more stability, as this is a lot harder on one leg. So with this, we're using a Swiss ball to primarily hit the hamstrings. It's a couple different steps. The first step is you want to dig your heels into the Swiss ball to lift your hips up. So I'm not lifting my hips up through my back. I'm actually digging my heels into the ground to lift my hips up. That's step one. After maintaining this position with the core on, you're going to dig your heels into the Swiss ball again and bring it towards your hips, keeping your hips high the entire time, not letting the hips drop. Hips stay high, and then you're going to keep the hips high as you let it out, and then back down again. I'm actually using my arms here to give me a little bit of stability. It's totally fine as long as I'm not digging in a lot. If you really want to challenge the core more, you can keep your arms here. It really just depends on what you want out of the exercise. I recommend just starting down here if the goal is to work the hamstrings. Again, it's up, pull in, go out, down, up, pull in, and the out you want to control it. You don't want to just shoot it out and let it go. So this is a double leg bridge with the eccentric bias on the hamstring Swiss ball curl. So again, we're working on the eccentric part, which is this lengthening part. That's the goal of this exercise. We're gonna keep the ball in to make it a little bit easier on ourselves, keeping the core tight. We're gonna push up. Once you feel stable in this position, you're gonna slowly let the ball out using your hamstrings underneath your thighs. Once you reach the full out position, you can lower yourself. If you find it too difficult, you don't have to go full range. You can maybe stop here and you're like, oh, that's getting tough. You can lower yourself, that's totally okay. But the goal is that you get those hamstrings fully lengthened and in control of it the entire time, and then you lower yourself. Cool. So these are long lever hamstring bridges on a Swiss ball. Again, the goal of this is to bias the hamstrings. You're just gonna get a Swiss ball, you're gonna put your heels on it. My goal is to lift my hips up by driving my heels down into the ball. Again, I'm keeping my core nice and engaged, driving my hips up by digging into the ball. Squeezing the butt, and you will feel the hamstrings work as you hold this position. So I'm using a Swiss ball here on the bridge. What the goal of the Swiss balls is what's going to do, it's going to cause me to have to stabilize a little bit more through my hamstrings, also because the ball is going to be trying to slide out. I need to keep it in the whole time, which forces me to use my hamstrings. Same thing as a normal bridge, keep your core nice and engaged. You're still trying to squeeze your glutes, but again, this is much more hamstring dominant because of the Swiss ball and the instability.